Hey, Mitch.
Oh, Ed, not
Hey,
again.
I'm so excited. Got your voice message. I
Oh,
heard you,
no,
you
you
know, you're saying,
didn't.
oh, let's do that Tom Selleck show, the Hawaii road to China. And,
No,
I don't
no,
remember him
no,
going to
no.
China.
You didn't listen to it clearly. Obviously, I didn't say the. What did you think I said? The Hawaii
Hawaii
Road
road
to
to China.
Magnum.
Hawaii road to China. Magnum
High,
set in Hawaii.
high,
You said Tom
high,
Selleck.
high road to China is what I said. The Tom Selleck movie from 1983. Yeah,
Ah,
83.
but I'm
That's what
all
we're gonna
dressed.
do.
But I've
No,
got
I
that.
know
I've
I
got the
can see
Magnum
that.
hat. I've got that.
No, I
I've
don't
even got some.
care.
I've got
No.
some things coming to your way.
Look,
I've
I don't care
delivered
if you
them.
got
Remember?
TC's helicopter. What do
No,
you
no,
have
no, no,
coming my
no,
way?
no.
What?
Remember Higgins?
Yeah, of course, Jonathan Hillman. What about him?
Yeah, well, I've got some of his friends coming.
Oh no, not them.
Yeah. Uh, uh, let's just start the show.
Sure.
Hi,
Let's
this
do
is
it.
Ed Dollister,
This is Mitch Halleck.
and welcome to another exciting episode of Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure. If it's your first time here, thanks for stopping by. If you are a regular viewer, thanks for coming back. Before we start today's topic, Mitch, can you tell the lovely viewers out there a little bit about what we do here at the show and how you
Sure
can
thing.
find out
That
about
is,
us?
if you let me do it, it's as easy as taking two old World War I biplanes and getting them into the air with miraculously never ending gasoline tanks because they fly a lot farther than those planes could and go to China. All you have to do is hit the supply button. It's a lot easier than getting
The
best on
supply
property.
button? You said the
Supply. Did I
supply
say that?
button.
It's obvious.
Supplies. Remember that joke from.
Thought I heard something.
What?
I don't know. I just thought.
Supplies.
Where they open up the door, the supply closet, and out jumps the guy going, supplies.
All you have to do is hit the subscribe button, subscribe, and you too can come along with me and Ed on the road to China or wherever else the road takes us to see the whiz. Who knows where we're going? You can watch Mitch and Ed screw up and try to remember things, and because it's on YouTube, it's got to be true. So you'll hear it here on Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure when we go look at toys, TV, movies, and more right here on our show. And tell your friends because we
That's
need
right.
some viewers. That's
We
right.
do. And
Where are we
we've been
going
away.
today,
Well, we're
Magnum?
going to 1983. And funnily, we're not actually going to China, even though I've just come back from 2 weeks in
did.
China. This movie was actually filmed in Yugoslavia.
Looks just like it, doesn't it?
It does. Well, kind
Not
of.
really.
I suppose
No.
it does. We're looking at the 1983 Tom Selleck leading man vehicle,
Yeah.
High Road to China. Now, it's billed often as an Indiana Jones ripoff, given, of course, there's
Yes.
the storied
Yes.
history of Tom Selleck originally being cast as Indiana Jones. And then because of his TV show Magnum, he wasn't able to do it. So there's a lot of stories out there saying, oh, it was given to him as like a consolation or things like that.
Yes, I've
However,
heard that.
the
Yeah. That's
movie
not
has
true.
been the movie was in development in since it came out. The book, I actually have the book.
Get out. You actually have the book.
I do.
1977, that book came out.
It
And yes,
did.
you're right. It was in development hell, as they call it, for many years even maybe before Raiders.
Yeah, it
Time.
was.
Yeah.
It was originally going to star, I believe, Roger
Oh,
Moore
Roger
at some
Moore.
point.
Yeah. Roger Moore was cast. Jacqueline Bisset was
Yes,
talked about. Even Bo Derek was mentioned, but she didn't
yes.
want to do it because she wanted her husband, John Derek, to be the director, and that didn't
And
go.
yeah, and John Huston was going to direct it at
John
some
Huston was,
point, and then they
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
Sidney J. Fury,
Mm-hmm.
of course, who directed Superman 4, who had
Yes.
something to do with China, with the
Oh, the
Great
Great
Wall of
Wall when he
China. Yes,
uses Superman repair Great Wall of China vision, which
and
would
eventually
precede the wall.
Brian G. Hutton directed it, who was a pretty well known director
He's a movie
for.
actor. Well, no, he was a
He-
movie actor before, actually,
was he?
believe it or
Okay,
not.
well, he did
Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah,
Eagles
yeah.
Dare.
Yes, yeah, but I was listening to the Tom Selleck autobiography called "You Never Know," and
Hmm.
you never know. And he mentioned that the director put the G in the middle of his name to distinguish his acting career from his
Oh.
directing career. He gave up acting and then he became a director. But like you said, he did When Eagles Dare, and he did a bunch of movies that actually were well received before this film.
Yeah. Now, did you see this in the cinemas in
You know what?
83?
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I read the book, believe it or not, and it had a Tom Selleck Bess Armstrong cover
Hmm.
because I was all into my Indiana Jones Raiders Lost Ark phase, and I was trying to watch anything that I thought was similar to the Great Adventure film. But to my chagrin, this was not really a Raiders ripoff like people make it out to be. And I did not go see it in the theater for that reason because, believe it or not, it's more of a romancing the stone, have and have not, will they or won't they
Mm.
romantic movie, if anything, more than high adventure. There's some adventure in it. But anyway, no, I did not see it. In fact, I finally sat through it just last week when you said
Mm.
we want to do this because you were in China and you said, let's
Yep.
do the high road to China. And sure, why not? But yes, I did watch it for the first time. And you know what? I'm sad that I missed it on the big screen, low those many 40 something years ago, because
Hmm.
it's not that bad a movie, actually. It's pretty good.
It's not. There's some beautiful, like the scenery. There's some
Yeah, the
sweeping
flying
shots.
sequences.
Tom Selleck playing
Yeah,
Patrick O'Malley, and he's sort of a little bit different to his Magnum persona. I think they were
yeah,
trying to make him a
soften
little
them.
bit more like Clark Gable, and
Mm-hmm.
the way they have those the arguments. They really like each other, but
Yeah,
they're
that Nick and Nora Spencer type of thing where it's like moonlighting, where they've
yeah,
got that repartee between the leading man and their opposites. Like she's the sophisticated. And they
yes,
even start off with Bess Armstrong in a roaring 20s type of get up, and she's in a restaurant and she gets worried about her father. If she doesn't find her father within 2 weeks, she's going to lose her inheritance.
yes,
And they have to go find her father, who's played by Wilford Brimley, who must have been about 30, but it looks like 70 in this movie. That's this thing. So
yep,
he's over in China. So she has to go find him and she goes and gets this pilot, but that's neither here nor there. So she needs a pilot to take her to find her father who's up in China in a rebellion, in a war zone, something like that. But I'll tell you this, Selleck is definitely not doing the leading man, rugged, stoic, John Wayne type. Like you said,
mm,
he's more of the drunk kind of guy that's a
yep,
little soft. And I gotta say this, as big a dude as Tom Selleck is, it's like 6'4", 6'5", and he's got the dark features and the manly mustache and all that. His voice, and I'm not gonna fault the guy, maybe he was doing this for a character, but his voice doesn't come across as that deep,
yes.
rugged, let's do what I say type of voice. It's kind of weird. It's got a lilt to it. It's kind of high pitch. It's
Well,
kind of nerdy.
I think that's how his
Nerdy.
voice is in
A
Magnum as
Magnum?
well. It's
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit
Which is
um,
funny because in his autobiography, somebody pulled him aside in the 70s because he was also a commercial model. He
yes.
did a lot of stuff for a perfume or a man's cologne called Chaz, which
Hmm.
was like Charlie. Charlie was
Oh,
a
yes.
Shelly Pack ads here. She was Charlie's Angels, but he did Chaz. Slap that on and go out there and get rugged. But when he'd open his mouth, a lot of times they would say, your voice doesn't match your face. It's weird. It's not a very deep, husky type of sound. None of this, bravado like you and I have. This,
That's
really deep
right.
voice they're in. But
There's
no,
also, I was just going to say, there's also
yeah,
a great, supporting cast. Jack Weston plays Struts. You had
yes,
the wonderful Brian Blessed as
Brian.
Suleiman Khan.
Tom Selleck is alive. I love that.
That's
Yeah,
right. And did you know
yeah.
there is, there's a bit of
There's a
a
lot of
Indiana
Raiders
Jones.
connections.
There
Yes,
is, there is
Wolf
Wolf
Collar.
Kahler, yeah, as
Yeah,
Von
Dietrich
Hess.
from Raiders is the pilot in this movie
Yes.
that goes after Selleck. That's one. Who
Uh,
else are you going to say?
I was going to say Terry Richards, who is the Cairo swordsman.
That's right, who gets killed. And we've got even a bigger performance. I was surprised to see him.
Michael Sheard.
Michael, I'm sorry, yeah, who I actually met years ago. He tried to sell me his autobiography, but I turned him down and then he passed away because I'm stupid. I should have bought it. But he's also the Nazi sub commander in Raiders.
Yes,
But you might remember him as a little tiny house painter who became the leader of the Third Reich in the Last Crusade. And Indy
that's
gets his
right.
autograph. He played Hitler in that movie. But
Yes,
he's also the guy that goes and helps Bess Armstrong in the beginning of the movie, her man Friday, if you will, who
that's
gets
right.
killed by Terry Richards there.
There you
Yeah,
go. So it's
yeah.
so there
There was a
is
lot of Raiders stuff going on there. I was like, hey, that's
yes.
the guy. I know that guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, shall we go to the
Yeah,
reviews and
let's
see
go see
what
what they said back in the day. Because, like I
okay.
said, this movie got a bad rap right off the gate when
Well,
everyone's like,
it
it's a
got a
Raiders
it
ripoff.
actually got a picture in the in
Ooh,
there, so you know they it managed to get a big picture. So and I do like the movie poster of this, how they did it in that sort of sepia toned
yeah, that's
look.
what the
So it's
book
sort of
cover was. See, I had the movie version, and that was the book cover.
so all right. Selleck, star of TV's Magnum PI series, makes his movie star debut in this daring-do actioner set just after World War One. He manages to work up some charm and dazzle as a boozing daredevil pilot who escorts a beautiful heiress, Armstrong, on a dangerous mission to find her father in China. But the screenplay, a second cousin to Raiders of the Lost Ark,
See,
often takes the low road of strained credibility, which saps the appeal of the entire production. Director Brian G. Hutton, 2 stars.
that's a shame. That's a shame. It's not really. I like I said. I mean, for some who sat through movies like Firewalker and a lot of Raiders ripoffs over the years,
Yes.
and you too, no, it's not like that. Because I was expecting that they were going to go look for a lost treasure, and
Mm-hmm.
when I remember the previews or the trailers, and there's a goofy scene. You know, they didn't help themselves with the trailer I saw where Selleck takes Brian Blessed's son. He's the what is it, the Sultan? What was his
Suleiman Khan,
Philomacar?
the
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He puts him in. It's a two-seater plane, and he says, "Oh, my son must fly with you." And he's got bombs with him, and they're going to attack the enemy. And Selleck, does a loop, and the guy falls out of the
falls.
plane with the bombs, and spoiler alert, he blows himself up. But the thing of it is that one of the trailers I saw when he goes to do the upside down turn and the guy falls out, they had that effect like boom,
Oh
like a
yes,
like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
yeah.
And when I saw that, I go, "Oh God, please tell me that's not in the movie." And I don't think it was in the movie, but when you see that goofy slapstick type of a sound effect, you're like, "Oh, this is not going to be good." But that, like I said, I was surprised I was involved and engaged in it. But I will tell you this: it does kind of drag at the end, though, when
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for that big finale and stuff. And there's a big war scene with,
Yep.
Wilford Brimley shows up and they engage in this big attack. But it just kind of it doesn't have that big, thunderous applause at the end. It just kind of happens.
No, and
And
the like the biplane, the
yeah,
battle between Von
Wolf
Hess
Collar.
and
Yeah,
O'Malley. Look, it looks really good.
yeah.
They use a little bit of I think like rear projection, but a lot of it is you get to see Tom Selleck in the cockpit, which is quite good.
Sadly, one of the I learned this in the Tom Selleck biography.
Mm.
The crew died while they were
Yes.
filming the movie. Yeah, yeah. The stunt guy and the camera guy. The one guy, I think he was doubling for Tom, and the plane just
Mm.
didn't come back. So yeah, they had I think 4 people might have gotten killed in this production during that scene. So
So the film itself, it cost about $18 million to make.
yeah,
It opened at number one at the box office
yep, yep,
with about $6 million on its opening weekend, and it sort of petered out a little bit.
yeah.
I mean, 83, a Return of the
There was a
Jedi.
lot of big movies coming out back then, buddy.
Yeah, you had
So
Star Trek 3, I
Star
think.
Trek
Was that
3, yeah,
83 as
yeah,
well?
yeah,
There was a lot going on in Octopussy as well. You
yeah.
had Never
Well,
Say Never Again.
you know what's on? I listened to, like I said, I told you I was listening to Tom Selleck. He said his early reports said that this movie had grossed, believe it or not, 60 million, 60.
Hmm.
But through the magic of Hollywood accounting, when they would go to clear it up and they said,
Yes.
"Oh no, here's what I think Golden Harvest is the name of the
Yes.
movie film production company." They said, "Oh no, it only made like 28 million."
Yes.
So there's a discrepancy about how much it actually made because he wasn't too thrilled because he was supposed to get some points
Yep.
and some money back,
Residuals or something like that. Yes.
residuals, yeah, but they didn't pay out. But the funny thing is he goes and does another movie with Golden Harvest, which we're
Yes.
not going to
The
say, called
next year,
Lassiter.
Lassiter.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know why he stuck with them if he thought maybe he had a contract to do a
I think
multi.
he had that lined up because he said, I did read him saying that if High Road to China wasn't great, he wanted to have another film lined
Yeah,
up, ready to go. And he wasn't. hoping necessarily to do another costume picture, one
Yeah, yeah.
set in the past, but that's just the way it worked out. But
Well, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, but he did I quite liked Runaway. Remember that with Gene
I remember
Simmons and
running
the
with Gene
robots?
Simmons. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was
And
quite fun. That was, I think, 87,
I
maybe
think the
86.
actress was the one from Staying Alive, Cynthia Rhodes, if it was. I think
Oh,
that was the actress in that movie. If it isn't, maybe I'm not. Maybe you pop it up down there.
that's
But
okay.
go back to High Road to China. Like I said, for some reason it got branded as a Raiders ripoff, but I
Mm.
said it's more like Romance in the Stone because it's
Yep.
more of a romance. Bess Armstrong and the other fellow that plays Struts, they were in a
Jack
Alan Alda
Weston.
movie I saw called The Four Seasons back in like 1981.
Is that with
So
Alan Alda?
Alan Alda, they were in a movie called The Four Seasons. Bess Armstrong, I knew her from
Yep.
that film actually, and I don't know. I think she's still with us. I haven't seen her
Yeah,
in a
she
movie in a long
is.
time.
I do
Okay.
I do know that she had to step on a lot of like orange crates to when they were filming their scenes because he was
Oh,
so
Tom
tall.
Selleck so tall. Yeah, he's
Yes.
6'5". Yeah,
And
but
there was a great actually I didn't really
go
meet
ahead.
Tom Selleck, but I did get to see I was up close and personal with Tom Selleck in 2001 when I was in New York and he was in a play called A Thousand Clowns and he came out and said to everyone, "Look, I'm sorry, I can't do autographs because there's too many people, but thanks so much for coming." And he had charisma to spare, like you could
Did he
see
now?
he was a real, yeah, you could tell he was a real
No,
leading man, but he's a
he's a
huge
big
guy.
dude.
Yeah,
When I listened to his book, because again, I don't want to ruin anyone's surprises here, but I never watched an episode of Magnum PI in my life.
really.
Really? No, I know of the show. Obviously, it was very popular here. I think I saw the Raiders one they did. They did a satire of Raiders Lost Ark,
Yes.
but I just never got into it. And I listened to the whole 20-hour biography of Mr. Selleck, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I might go back and binge watch Magnum PI. But I'm glad I watched High Road to China, and I did see I did see Three Men and a Baby, Three
Yeah.
Men and a Little Girl. I saw those movies, and I saw some of his westerns he did. He was in a lot of TV
Oh,
westerns.
quickly down under is very
Quickly
good as
Down
well.
Under, which they filmed down the street from you, as we all know,
That's right. In fact,
and
yeah, it's still his set's
Tracers.
still out the front.
Her
But
Alibi, which is not a good movie with Paula
with him,
Barzakova.
that's
Pauline
right.
Barz- Yeah, he was in that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done some
He's a
good
good
movies.
actor. I mean, he's a nice guy. Let me just
Yeah.
tell you, from listening to his stuff after everything's said and done, Tom Selleck, nice guy. So
Does
he
he do
deserves it.
does he do conventions? He'd be a great.
He's doing autographs right now. In fact, if you want to get his autograph, it's not that bad. It's like $80. You could send away and get Tom Selleck's autograph on something. But watching this, I envisioned because he did get cast in Raiders and he was supposed to be Indiana Jones. He was handpicked by George Lucas and
Mhm.
Steven Spielberg, but they would not let him out of his CBS
Yes.
contract for Magnum. That's what happened. And the thing that killed me as I was listening to the book, they had a writers or an actor strike, the Screen Actors Guild. There was no productions being done, but Raiders got a pass. So they were actually filming Raiders. And here he is in Hawaii waiting to go to work on the series of
Hmm.
Magnum PI because it had got orders to do 13 or 15 episodes. So he's there in Hawaii as Spielberg and crew come to film the last 2 weeks on the
Yes.
Raiders, where they do the opening actually in Kauai. But the thing of it is, he's like, he could have done both movies. That's how life is. He could have done Raiders and still done Magnum because there was, they weren't doing the same production time, but whatever.
Yes.
Like, but I got to tell you, watching him in this movie and then trying to envision him as Indiana Jones, I think I can a little bit, but I don't. I'm so used
I
to
think it
Harrison
would
Ford.
it would
I
have
don't
been a
think it would have been the
different. I think
same.
it would have been. I
Yeah,
mean, who knows? But I think it would have been, a different take. I
it would
think
have been a different take.
and
Yeah,
he's got like a different look. Harrison Ford's sort of
the
is a
everyman.
handsome guy, but he's
Yeah,
he's a bit more everyman, whereas Tom Selleck's, sort of
he's a
a
movie star. He's a
movie
big.
star, and all those sort of things. But it's a great film. I should just quickly say the
Yeah.
score by John Barry is quite good. Who did the
Yes, it
James
is
Bond
John
films
Barry.
as well.
Yes, John Barry
And it
did
was
the score.
nominated for 2 Saturn Awards.
Yep.
Uh, guess who hasn't been nominated for 2 Saturn Awards?
I'm gonna say the wacky team of Mitch and Ed.
That's right. But we've
We didn't
got.
even get, but we did get a Uranus award. It's proud to have it right here, Ed. Let me show you.
Let
Look,
me
it
just.
says
I'm
stick
glad you
this,
didn't. Oh
Mitch and
my
Ed.
God. Okay. All right. That's that's
Ooh,
that's
that's
what's
Uranus.
going on. All right. On that note, You finally lost it.
I did lose it.
High Road to China is fantastic. It's worth a watch if
It
you
is
can
worth a
find it.
watch.
Um, as are we,
I found
Mitch.
it on Amazon Prime. If you want to know where I found it, and
Okay,
it was a great
unfortunately, in Australia, it's
$2.
not on any streaming, unfortunately,
It
but
was released on DVD in
it
Australia back
was, and
in
Blu-ray
2012.
as well,
And
and
Blu-ray, I
Blu-ray.
looked it up. Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah,
can you
yeah.
find out a little bit more about what we do here, Mitch?
Well, just watch the evening news. We're making every night they talk about us. Mitch and Ed, list breaking. They just blew up Toledo. All you got to do is turn on YouTube and type in the two wackiest guys, and we'll show up. All you got to do is subscribe to Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure below. Tell your friends, wake the neighbors, tell the kids. And you too can watch me and Ed as Ed kills me every week for 30 seconds. Just watch the opening and it'll log in as a view and we'll
Yep.
become rich. I tell you, rich. That's
I
all
need
you
to
do.
fund my trip to New York Comic Con, so
It
please.
is. It is easy as like hanging out with struts and flying an airplane. I got to tell you though, it did. Suspension of disbelief.
Mm.
I looked it up. Those planes have a range of anywhere to 300 to 500 miles, fully loaded, just like
Yep.
me. But they were flying thousands of miles away, and I'm thinking, where are they going to land and gas up?
Yep.
It's not. You were just in China. It's not a small country. It's a
It
big
took
place.
us. We were on the bullet train traveling at 350 kilometers an hour, and it still took us 5 or 6 hours to get
It's
from
crazy.
Zhuan to Shanghai. So yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh well.
you don't have to get
Movie
on the bullet
magic.
train. You just got to get onto the YouTube and watch me and
That's
Ed
right.
every week as we look at TV, movies, and more right here on Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventures.
That'll be great. So signing off. This is Ed Dollister PI,
And this is Mitch Halleck.
and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.